to our first English interview. My guest today is Joe Bestwick.
Hi.
GB International, am I right?
Yeah,
Yes.
sometimes.
Sometimes. Can you tell us and the viewers where you originally come from?
So I come from Leicester in England originally, champions of England
Yes.
for the moment.
Okay, but you told me you don't follow football that much.
No, not really. I moved around a lot when I was a kid. So we lived in Leicester, we lived in Scotland for a while, in Nottingham. So I moved a lot, so I didn't really ever follow one team.
Yeah, but you're looking for the Rangers, didn't you?
Yeah, as a kid, yeah. Then you're living in Scotland, you had to choose Rangers or Celtic. So for me, it was Rangers. No idea why, maybe the nicer shirt, but yeah.
Okay, and how did you get in touch with wheelchair basketball? When did you play the first time?
I was, I guess, 12 years old the first time. We had a letter sent to my old school just asking if they had any kids who would maybe be interested. I thought I'd go along, I'd try it. I tried it, I hated it. I thought I was terrible at it. I couldn't use the wheelchair, I couldn't get the ball in the basket.
Yeah.
So I didn't go back for a few weeks, and then it was kind of winter time, and I was doing canoeing at the time, and it got colder and colder out on the water all the time. But yeah, maybe it's time to go indoors and try basketball again. So I did, and then I fell in love with it the kind of second time round.
And how is wheelchair basketball organized in Great Britain?
It's really well organized, I think, particularly for young players or developing players. It's not as professional a league as, say, Germany or Italy or Spain, but we have, I think, the most teams competing anywhere in the world. We have hundreds of leagues, we have junior leagues, women leagues, we have cup competitions just for Scotland, Wales and Ireland. So from that perspective, it's really, really fantastic.
Yeah, I've read they have their own youth league in Great Britain.
Yeah, they do. They have a university league as well, where there's no classification or anything. So that's really good to get more able-bodied people involved in the sport. So from that perspective, it is really, really well organized in England.
Okay, what's the biggest difference between the German basketball and the British wheelchair basketball?
From an organizational position, it's...
And from the court.
It's the professionalism, I think. There are no teams really in England at the moment can compete with any of the professional teams in Germany. There isn't the interest from crowds the same way there is here. There isn't the organization or the structure or anything behind it.
Yeah.
And then on the court, it's just so much more physical here in Germany. I mean, you have a higher standard of players. You have, I think all teams have at least a few professional guys, and that'll automatically give you a more aggressive, competitive atmosphere, I think.
But most of the English players are playing in foreign countries, like Spain and Germany?
So out of the 14 guys that are left from the 16-man squad for Rio last year, 13 of them are playing in Europe. At the moment, there's only one guy based at home. Okay,
and your position is a very competitive, the high pointers?
Yeah. When I first got in the team in 2006, there weren't so many high pointers. Like Simon Munn played almost all of the minutes, Terry played good minutes, and then after that there wasn't really anybody. So it was kind of easier then to get into the team. I think they had a new forward every 1 or 2 years in my position. Since then, it's changed a lot. We have a lot of young guys like Lee Manning and George Bates. We have guys like Gaz and Terry, who are some of the best in the world in their position. We have Ian Sager as a big three-pointer, who I think is the best big three in the world. It's really hard.
Okay, you haven't been to Rio, so how are your chances to join the squad for the European Championships?
That's a good question. Yeah, I've been in and out the team for a few years now, so I think I'm playing well enough to deserve a chance. I think I'm disappointed I didn't make it into the team for Rio. I thought I had a good chance, but we'll see. I think it's just going to depend how this season goes and how the selection camps go. It's a really early tournament this year, so we don't have very many chances to try and impress the coach. So we'll see.
And
Fingers crossed.
Who's the favorite team for the European?
GP, of course.
GP.
I mean, when you're 3 times gold medalists, I think then you have to be the favourites. And there's a pressure with that. It's a different kind of pressure than when you're always sort of 2nd or 3rd or 4th and you're consistently champions. Then everybody plays a little bit better when they play against you.
But it isn't easy for you right now in Wetzlar. You have a new, Piotr Leczyński has joined the team, so there is a competition also here in Wetzlar?
There's always been competition. The good thing about Piotr being here, or one of the good things, is that now there's always a space for a 4.5 on the court, whereas before it was more difficult to play a 4.5 last year and the years before. So from that perspective, it's really good. Obviously, Piotr is one of the best players in the world, and has been for so many years now. So it's hard to take minutes away from him. I think we complement each other very well when we play together. I think it can be very effective. It's a good challenge for me. I think I love training with the guy. He's such a good guy and so intense in his practice that you can't help but get better when you train against him.
Yeah, Andreas Jonek told me that Piotr came to you after your first match versus Hamburg, and he came to you and armed you.
Yeah, he gave me a hug, and I brought him a beer after the first game. It was the Hamburg game, so he had an unbelievable game, scored loads of points. And I gave him a beer, and he was really shocked. Like, I think it'd been a few years since he played in Germany, I guess, and he was, I can't drink this beer. There are people watching. So it's fine. They're a sponsor. It's no problem. And I think that was when he first fell in love with playing here in Germany again.
Okay, you told me your contract runs until 2017, until the next season. So, would you like to stay in Germany with Lahn-Dill?
Yeah, I mean, of course. Who wouldn't want to play for Lahn-Dill? I think they're the best team in the world. They're the most professionally run team in the world. I would love to stay here. Of course, every player wants to play more and be more and more involved. It would be difficult for me to leave, for sure, but that's a little bit down to the club as well. If they want me to stay, then I would definitely like to be here. Things have to be right as well, though. I don't want to just hang around and not be useful to the team.
Yeah, I've read you're a married man right now. Is your wife here in Germany?
Yeah, she is. She's from Germany. She's from Cologne.
Oh,
so we met over there.
Yeah, I've talked to you before the interview. Your German is really good.
Yeah, when I have to, it's okay. Piotr's English is about as good as my German, so we try to use German. And in the team now, we try to use German as much as we can. Okay. So, yeah, when I have to, then yeah.
Then you have to order beers, like me when I'm in England.
Of course, you can always order beers and food.
Okay, last question, Joe. What are your targets for this season? Your goals?
I think I want to win both championships in Germany. Last year was really hard. It was coming second 3 times in one season was difficult. So 2 titles in Germany, of course, is the first goal. Getting selected for the national team, I think, is my second goal. Champions Cup, I'd love to make a final again, and then in a final, who knows what can happen. There are so many good teams in Europe again this year. So if we can make a final, then we have given ourselves a good chance. Okay. And then hopefully if I make the team in Tenerife, then a gold medal there would be okay as well.
Okay, my fingers are crossed.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
Thank you.
And I hope you had some fun. Yeah, and see you soon.
Thanks.